Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Instant Ramen Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and with me, as like every quarter, annually always, is Kyle.
It's me again.
Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing well as a whole. Today I'm really tired, exhausted, stressed out from work, but as a whole I'm doing pretty good.
Sick, dude. That's so rad.
Yeah.
What's new? What have you been doing? What's making you feel this way?
Well, I mean, we got to get back into the Pathfinder spirit.
I fucking want to so bad.
To be totally honest, it's actually really hard for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, the lapse of time, the loss of one character, the non-committal in me jettisoning another character. So now I have to... Because I had plans, I have to change a plot arc of the story.
Yeah, I'm sure it's incredibly disheartening.
It's pretty disheartening. I mean, I'm excited to get back into it.
I want to so bad, but yeah, I mean, it's a matter of like we'll be able to play more frequently.
Yeah,
once we get into the swing of things, because
but I mean,
no holidays or anything are
on
coming
the
up.
opposite spectrum. I'm very much enjoying my D&D campaign.
Good, yeah,
it's good. It's been a lot of fun. They're like way into it, so it's pretty
super good.
So, I mean, I've kind of like always wanted to like run two campaigns at the same time. So, we'll see if it ends up being too much for me.
Yeah,
because it can be hard.
Of course.
Work. I mean, I like my job. It's just hard. I like everybody I work with. I like the office.
Yeah,
I like what you do. It's just such a big learning curve. It's just stressful
and stuff. I mean, you've been doing the new stuff for what, like 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My manager said you won't realistically have a good grip on things for a year. So I mean, that's good that they have that.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing that like I always try to go into a new job like, all right, how long is it going to take for me to feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Because, people judge themselves harder than others judge them. Well, for the most part, I guess.
Yeah.
People that are trying do.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have the kind of that like time frame of being like, okay, I shouldn't feel like I have a grasp on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice comfort for that. But what's up in terms of anime? You've been keeping up with anything this week? I mean,
so virtually everything I've been watching with you. The only thing I was watching Death March Rhapsody Parallel Universe.
That's the one
show, and
it's got a bunch of words.
Stopped at like episode 8 because it's just really shitty.
And you were also watching.
I'm watching Record of Grand Crest. I like it, but the pacing's just fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I can't handle it. But there's parts in it that I really like, so I keep watching it.
Right, because I mean, it sounds like you think of this show like pretty positively. So.
Yeah, I like the action's really interesting. The way they do the sound design is really weird. Like it blows out your speakers a lot with like the action. It's very like
it's intense.
Yeah, when like people are clashing swords or like stabbing each other, it's like so loud that it's like distortion-y. It's weird. Like it's a weird. It has to be a choice because it's in every single episode. So. I mean, I guess it's a design decision.
That's interesting.
It's very hit and miss for me. There's some like really good parts in it, but there's some parts that I'm like, why did you just show me 2 seconds of people stabbing each other? Now we're at a ballroom scene. It's the most confusingly directed show I've ever seen, but I kind of like it because I like fantasy stuff, and it's pretty serious. It's a very serious tone. I don't think there's any like anime moments. Like no one gets giant sweat bubbles or no one turns into a chibi.
I like shows like that.
No one yells baka. Like people are getting like their heads cut off and like some guy like stabs some guy in the mouth and just like rips it out the side of his head.
That's pretty intense.
It's really intense.
Sounds cool.
Other than that, just that and the Garbage Patrol that I watched.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get into that in a little bit here. No. I've kind of been keeping up with Black Clover. I'm still liking it, but it's not something to write home about. It's like there are cool things that happen, and I like what there is and the potential that everything has, but the pacing is a little bit slow, as a lot of shonens are, and the characters
looking at you, Boruto's dad,
are kind of like there isn't enough there. I think they're too simplistic.
Oh.
Yeah, which is kind of like one of the things that I appreciate most in all different kinds of shows. I mean, like the two that I really enjoy from this season had some pretty dynamic characters.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is the point of a shonen not to have really simple ideas just so it can funnel out a bajillion episodes of young boy rise to power?
Yeah, but with this, they specifically set a 50 episode limit. So you think that they would do something with that, opposed to other shows that are like, oh yeah, we're just going to keep going until we're done.
Oh, so it doesn't feel very driven?
No. So I have a hard time being like, all right, well, I can't wait to see the end of this. It's kind of just like, all right, so here's some bad guys, but like, I don't even know what their deal is. And like, I don't know. It feels weird. There's some cool things that I'm like, oh man, that's a cool fantasy thing. I would love to see that in like D&D, or I would love to see that in a video game.
That's
or something
every
like
anime
that.
for me now.
Yeah, exactly. There's some things that really, really catch me, and I'm like, that's fucking cool. But a lot of it's just like, well, it's kind of fun, I guess. But yeah, everything else I've been watching with you, been keeping up with everything. We're almost done with all of our shows. We're going to finish them up tonight so that next week Juan and I can review all the anime we were able to watch this season.
Hey, when are we watching the first episode of everything?
And we're getting on that as soon as you can, because they're starting to put some out, but we're not going to be able to talk about all of them for a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of a lull before we actually do that episode.
So you guys are going to do your review of this season?
Yeah.
And then, okay.
Exactly.
So we got time.
We got some time. Since there aren't, we don't really like to have 1 or 2 episodes to talk about for everything, but there isn't a lot that's actually out right now.
Okay.
For example, My Hero comes out on the 7th. And
wait, like the 7th of April?
Uh-huh.
Like in like a few days?
Like in a week, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
I know, I'm yeah, me too. Thanks. So, yeah, I've been fucking doing some anime stuff, and it's been okay. But I'm super excited to finish up all the shows that we've been watching. Episode 13 of A Place Further in the Universe. I didn't even realize there was a 13. Everyone still talks about 12 as being the quintessential, like, oh man, that fucked me up. There was a whole post about how like this person lost their parent like 5 years ago, and this show like helped them get over it more than any like therapy has. And I'm like, oh, dang. Fuck. Like, damn,
that's not going to work for everyone.
No, clearly
awesome.
not. That's awesome that people are able to find that. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard to like beat that at this point.
Yeah. Because everything about that show was good.
Yeah. But episode 13, we'll see what they've got for us. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, we've got more stuff to watch. Overlord. We got some After the Rain, and we'll see. We'll see if we could get around to Steins Gate, because we need to watch all of that.
Yeah.
Before the new season comes out of Steins Gate 0. So the official date on that, I don't know. It's like 2 weeks or something.
Okay.
Something around there. But we'll be able to do it.
Alrighty.
And it'll be fine. So yeah. Why don't we just jump into the news? I think that's okay. That's all I got.
Hit me with it.
What's up? So, Overlord Season 3 is going to be airing this summer.
No fucking way.
Yeah, already. Like, no lull. There's just there's like a couple months, and then it's going to come. So that's pretty exciting. And then Fooly Cooly Season 2 has begun airing on Adult Swim already, just for April Fools, and it was in Japanese. So
is this a thing that's already existed before?
What do you mean?
I don't know anything.
Oh, no. Fooly Cooly 2. Fooly Cooly was an anime way back when.
Yeah,
like
I watched
over
2
10 years
episodes
ago.
with you a long time ago, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I feel like now you would probably get it more since you've watched enough anime.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Fooly Cooly Season 2. Last year on April Fools, Adult Swim aired the premiere episode of Season 3 of Rick and Morty. And this year, they decided to do a Toonami where it was in Japanese, and they played Fooly Cooly Season 2 Episode 1, which is like a crazy thing because it's not even airing yet.
I was going to say it hasn't existed before until this point.
No, yeah. This is a new thing since it was such an old show, and now they've got Season 2 and 3 coming out, alternative and progressive. I'm so excited about it. Most people are. So
yeah, I know. I don't really know anyone who didn't like it.
yeah, pretty much. It's a good time. So yeah, I'm super excited that happened. I unfortunately wasn't able to watch it because I was visiting a couple of good friends, Kate and Abe, in Sacramento, and we just like watched a bunch of TV, and I told them what anime to watch, and shit.
Nice.
It was a good time. Like, put that on your list, put that there. You're gonna like this thing. All right, cool. I watched some Daily Lives of High School Boys, and they're like, I get this. This is fantastic. You know, it was a good time. Yeah, so next up, Netflix has added The Disastrous Life of Saiki K, which I don't know if you're familiar with this at all, but it's a dude who has pink hair and a couple of antennae. Does that sound kind of familiar? It's a really popular comedy anime. I haven't seen any of it because I don't know for sure, but I don't remember it being on Crunchyroll. But now that it's on Netflix, I'm excited. Now I'll have an opportunity to watch it.
Maybe if I saw the character, I would be like, oh, maybe I've seen that. But just based on your description, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw a clip that was pretty funny. Essentially, he's playing dodgeball, but he's like got crazy psychic powers and he's super strong and stuff. So he doesn't want to let anyone know that he has these powers. And he's like, I'll get out as soon as I can. And he's trying to, but like people keep preventing him from getting out. They're like, oh man, I got your back. And they're like blocking him and stuff. And he's just like, I just want to get out of this fucking game right now. Really frustrated. I thought that was pretty entertaining. A good time. All right, next up, a Simuldub has been announced for Steins Gate 0. Now, I'm super excited about this because it's more accessible to people, but the weird thing about this is you really have to watch the first season of Steins Gate in order to know what this is, because without spoiling anything...
This is a what if, right?
This is kind of a what if. This is like things that happen in the first and last episode. If one of those things didn't happen, this is what the story continues to be.
Oh, okay.
So this is like we did everything right. But then it's like, hey, we did almost everything right, but we really fucked up one giant thing.
So it takes one choice made in the original and plays off of it went in one direction.
Mm-hmm. Because essentially it's like, the whole point of Steins Gate is they're alternative timelines, and certain things change those timelines, and some are in stasis, and there's just a whole fucking deal with that. So this is an alternative universe. I don't think it's a parallel universe, but it's an alternative one. And the difference between parallel and alternative is like possibly more things are different. I don't fucking know. We'll watch it. We'll find out. We'll let you know what's going on.
Now, correct me if this analogy is not right, but it sounds like how the original, the XCOM reboot was about trying to stop the aliens from invading the Earth.
Yeah.
And XCOM 2 went under the assumption that you lost the first game. So the second one starts off with you having fucked up.
Yeah. But the thing, I don't even know, because with you having fucked up, you're trying to make it as good as possible in XCOM 2, right?
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue what this is going to be. I don't know if it's just like, all right, well, we just live our lives now. Because the thing that's fucked up isn't something you could change, really.
I suppose at the point I'll find out, won't I?
Yeah, we'll all find out. It'll be a fun time. But my whole point of this tangent is, if you haven't seen the first season, then you have to watch that before you get into this. And the fact that it's a Simuldub normally makes it more accessible to people that don't normally watch anime. Like, it could be somebody's first anime or something. But the fact that you have to watch the original kind of makes it more difficult.
I'm in that grouping.
Yeah.
Although I have seen the first 12 episodes. So
yeah, then the second 12 does a whole different thing. And I'm glad that we've had such a lull, honestly, because it makes it harder to remember the events in the first episode that are going to reoccur.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of a good thing.
Oh,
because it all loops together. So yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Good. Okay.
We ended at a good point. I wouldn't have said, all right, let's stop there if, it wasn't a good point. Anyways, next up for news. Last week I had mentioned it. There's a new studio that's going to be created by the Flip Flappers director, who is Kiyotaka Oshiyama. And he is also a previous producer at Bones. Anyways, he's officially started his new studio called Studio Durian. And I'm very excited about this, considering that Flip Flappers was one of the best shows that I saw from about a year ago. And we didn't see that same potential met with their next project at Studio 3 Hertz. So I'm hoping that he'll be able to kind of like curate everything to what he wants anime to be for this next thing.
What was there?
That makes sense.
I know we've talked about
Princess
this.
Principal.
Oh, that was the next one?
Mm-hmm, that was the next one from Studio 3 Hertz, which I still enjoyed, but not nearly as much as Flip Flappers. Sorry, I looked at Fooly Cooly.
Flip Cooley.
Flip Cooley. The flippy to whippity. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for news.
Okay. So
some exciting things, some not so exciting things. So let's get into the least exciting things. Kyle, I don't know why you decided to do this to yourself, but you decided, hey, I love watching all those new anime. It's super fun when one's bad. I want to watch all of a bad one and review it each season of anime on your podcast. And I'm like, are you sure about that, man? And we had a couple of runners. Some were just like, this is bad. It's cringy and it's just like sexual and that's all it is. But this one came up suddenly. We were like, oh shit, we missed this little fella. And it wound up being one of the worst things I've ever watched. And I did genuinely laugh out loud at the first episode because I was like so caught off guard. Like, what the fuck? I gave you gdgd Men's Party, which is made by a little studio called Strawberry Meats Pictures. They're known for such other things as gdgd Fairies, and gdgd Fairies 2, and gdgd Fairies the movie, and gdgd Men. Hey, Kyle, tell us about what the fuck we're talking about.
So, I gotta say, for some reason, despite this show being about an 8 to 9 minute runtime per episode, I regretted my idea to review a bad anime more so with this than I did with Fuck Your Sister show.
A sister's all you need.
Yeah. There are times when I think, wow, this is the worst song I've ever heard. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. This is the worst anime I've ever seen. This might perhaps be the worst thing I've ever seen. It
really just
in my
supersedes
entire
everything
life.
Else. Okay, so set it up for us. What are we looking at?
Let's start with the animation. Picture, this is going to be a super niche reference. Picture buying Final Fantasy 3 for the Nintendo DS when it first came out. And that's the animation of the show. The animation of the show is like,
I think it's like a garbage VeggieTales.
It's like PlayStation 2 or like maybe like GameCube RPG early years. It's like tiny
worse.
bodies.
It's like worse.
They all
than
have
that,
tiny bodies and enormous heads. And it's got that weird... No, it's like the first time the Pokemon games went into 3D graphics.
Okay.
That's what it's like. It's like really shitty digital graphics. And all of the scenery is like flat cardboard. So like when they're in a library, like the bookshelves are like papercraft boxes, but digital graphics.
Yeah.
And like all the movements are really janky and slow, and all of their facial expressions are really unanimated.
Oh, okay.
And so the show is about a guy, I think he's a junior high student, although anime looks, he's 24. He's playing his computer, and a guy in the computer's like, do you want to come into the video game and save the princess? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? So he jumps into the video game with his other friend who's like 13 years old. Maybe he's like 12 or something. He's supposed to be really young, but then also anime-wise, he's like 26.
Yeah.
He looks 26, but he has a really high-pitched voice. And they both go into the game with this AI. He's like a robot. The main character's name is Light. He's got like red hair and like a red outfit and like a red sword, and he's loud and annoying and stupid like a main character of an anime.
Sounds appropriate, yeah.
And his friend is named Yomi. He's got like a little blue and black frog hood, and he's like supposed to be really cute.
Okay.
There's something about the shows that I end up watching where there's always a male character that's supposed to be really cute, like feminine cute.
Hey man,
I guess
that's a good thing.
That is an anime thing, but like it seems pretty exceptional in the things I've been watching.
Yeah, well, I mean,
which to segue for a second, Steins Gate. What's the character's name?
I don't know.
The guy who wants to be a girl.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's the best. Know. He's adorable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm
like
okay
my
with
favorite.
that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Such a sweetheart.
Back to the show. Trash. The robot's name is Alpha. He has like but it's ALFA. It's not like a robot term.
Okay.
He's got like a weird braid thing, and he's got like a green eye and a blue eye and a robot arm, and they bring it up at one point. They're like, this is a fantasy game. Why do you have a robot arm? And he's like, because it's cool. So they have to go find the princess, whom we get to see once per episode. And she's like super like pink everything, big frilly dress, like the mega swirly curl head things.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And she's just like what's the word? She's manic.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say super fucking hot.
No, she's manic. Like
okay.
because the whole show is broken down into bits. There's an intro.
How was the intro? If you could
bad
recreate it for us.
I won't create the whole thing, but I will. So it's got like kind of like a pretty hardcore intro, like kind of metally. No singing, and so it starts going, and the intro and the outro are shorter because the show is shorter, they're not full length. So it like starts off as pretty like heavy metal, and it like goes to like do like a cool metal breakdown, and as that does that, in the background there is now singing. Actually, you know what, there might be singing. I don't know. The show's really it's not worth remembering, but it like has like this na, 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 but like in the middle of like heavy metal music, and it's not fitting whatsoever.
To be fair, one of my favorite thing in Sephiroth's theme is like at a certain point it's like, you know, it's like really intense, and then suddenly it goes like do 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 do, and you're just like, fuck yeah. But then it gets back in with like and you're like, yeah, I'm down.
And then the outro is even worse because it's a guy singing, and it's the three main characters dancing in front of what appears to be fan art of their characters.
Fucking awesome.
But I know it's not fan art, it's just the
meta.
studio.
It's meta. They know what they're fucking doing. It's meta.
So the show's broken down into segments. It's an intro where they play the song, and then there's like an intro to their setting, what they're doing, where they're going to a library to get a magic book, or going to a carnival, or there's no plot to this show.
No, there's not.
There's less plot to the show than like Ancient Magus Bride.
They're like, save the princess, but then that's not
it's
at
not
all
important.
The goal. Yeah.
So when we get to the princess, she talks really quickly, yells a lot. So it's just like it's like nonsense. She's just like, when's my prince gonna get here? Oh, I never even wanted to be here. What if I? And she just like screams and like laughs and like rolls around on her bed really stiffly because the animation's garbage. And then it just goes back. We're just gonna go back to them like it wasn't important. And I think every episode has these weird improv bits. That's the point of the show. The point of the show is improv bits.
Okay.
So
all right.
To either get through some obstacle or to fight a monster, or they just do it for fun. They look inside Yomi's crystal wand, and it shows a egregiously animated something that's supposed to be comedic.
Oh.
It's picture Japanese Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I am.
That makes you want to kill yourself.
I'm not anymore.
Okay.
I don't want to die.
Example. One of the things that they do is like a 4-panel comic of like a superhero with like an emoji face punching rocks and saving somebody in a minecart. Mm-hmm. So these characters take turns speaking out what the captions of this comic would be. And you can tell it's improv because you can hear each other in each other's mics, and they're laughing in between, like, oh man, they're not going to be able to put that one in without censoring it. Like, just like they're just in the recording studio, just like chatting it up.
Interesting. So it's like if Pop Team Epic were like the worst show of all time.
And it's never funny.
Yeah.
It's no
jokes.
Oh my gosh.
It's just saying shit.
It's not even improv. It's just saying shit to say shit.
Well, the thing that made me laugh thoroughly in the first episode was, they're in that digital world and whatnot, and then suddenly you have to fight fucking Thomas the Train Engine. And I was like, excuse me, what the fuck?
Yep.
And I laughed so hard because I was so caught off guard from using like an American children's cartoon in this piece of garbage.
Don't forget, it wasn't just Thomas the Tank Engine. It was Thomas the Tank Engine mixed with the little blue slime from Dragon Warrior Monsters.
That's
the important part.
Dragon
it was a
Quest,
Thomas the Tank Engine slime.
Yeah.
Like there was one episode where they have to get a key, and to find the key, Light has to move them around on one of those like grabby claw games where you get prizes.
Yeah.
But he keeps lowering them into the wrong things, like soldiers shooting guns or like a dragon breathing fire, and they eventually find it, and it's Santa Claus with a treasure chest, and there's like two women who are scantily clad, but they're not anime. They're like Sims models from The Sims or Second Life.
Here's the thing, like everything you just described sounds like it could be goddamn hilarious.
It could be amazing.
I'm like imagining like a high quality anime doing this, and they're like, oh god, I gotta help out my friends, and he's up there and he's hitting the buttons and he's fucking it all up, and then like it's all animated like really well. Except in this, I know what it is, because like you said earlier, everything's like cardboard. It all looks like fucking garbage. The characters aren't funny. They're not like animated well. It's the animation and like the emphasis on their face that really kind of sets the mood and the scene for everything. And since they aren't well animated and they don't have good expressions, how are you going to enjoy it?
There was one part that made me smile.
That's
shit. It.
Okay, what was it?
So in one of the episodes, they did a improv bit.
Okay.
Where it was a very creepily well rendered shitty model of a fat guy wearing nothing but like a sumo diaper thing.
That's like how I was imagining Drew Carey in the Whose Line Is It Anyway of Japan.
So, and he's in an office like with a bunch of cubicles, and he's like doing like can dances, like he's like lifting his legs like really high up in the air and like kicking.
Yeah.
And like the things they say aren't funny at all. Like it hurts to read it. I'm so glad it wasn't spoken English.
Do you feel like embarrassed? I feel like a lot of times when you hear things that are just so bad, you feel like embarrassed for that person. But I feel like this is a different level.
Yeah, well, it's better because I can't hear it. So at its worst, I can minimize it and know what's happening, but I don't have to hear what they're saying.
True.
I just know that they're not being funny. So after this episode, stupid outro cuts in. And, Light's dancing, Yomi's dancing, and then and then instead of Alpha, it's the fat guy wearing the diaper, like doing like the really choreographed dance. Like there's like even like the art behind him, like really, because like the art's really well done. Like they could have made a normal anime with these models, but they decided not to. And it's just the guy in the back, and he's dancing in front of him, like, huh, he's in the outro instead of the other guy. And then you never see him again.
What a shame.
But at the end of the show, they find the princess, and she yells at them and then goes back into her cage or something, and then they just like fuck off. They just forget about her.
All right.
And then the robot's going to get his mind wiped because there's apparently like 500 of them, and he's going to go on another mission. And they're like, oh my gosh, we can't go home. We have to save our friend from getting his memory wiped.
Season 2. Here we go.
They made a joke about season 2. So I really hope, according to the studio's track record, there will absolutely be another one.
And a movie.
And we're not come back.
You already did enough.
We can't come back.
You've suffered enough.
Yes,
if that ever appears again, we're probably not going to review it on our giant summary of anime.
Frankly, the only reason I was able to watch all 12 episodes was the 8-minute length. If it was full, I might have legitimately just been like, Chris, I quit.
Yeah.
Second, I can do one season of trash, but this is too much.
Because you texted me and you're like, I don't know if I could do it, man. I'm like, it's fucking short. Just get through it. You kind of have to. It's about 2 hours of
now I feel like as now I'm doing this for every quarter, I have to rank them. This is worse than
that's easy
Sisters
to say.
All You Need.
Yeah.
Easy. I would watch if you said season 2 of Sisters All You Need and season 2 of Gudamen, as they said in the scene transfers, I would watch season 2 of Sisters All You Need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you at least have good animation for that.
Yeah,
and characters with personalities.
And some anime bobbers.
And you got some bops. Nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah.
So you should probably start keeping a list somewhere in your phone or something.
I need to have a ranking system here.
Since Juan's kind of got that going for our live action garbage, you should do it for your genuine garbage. So I'm very happy that you were able to fucking suffer through all of this and do it, because I feel like this is going to be the worst we ever get, because this was fucking horrible.
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get worse than this. I mean, I don't want that challenge to be met.
The only thing
that
I've seen
to be the worst.
The only thing I've seen that's worse than the first episode of this was the first episode of Handshakers. I could not fucking do that.
I think I Google imaged it one time and I looked at it.
You
I was like, that looks
threw up in your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, ooh, that.
Yeah,
that was something else.
It really fucking is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's how this shit goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun because I like to be upset. But I also it's a lot of effort. I also wanted to kill myself. So.
Yeah, no. Well, another death prevented. We made it through. We're not going to watch season 2 or the movie.
No, we are not. But I mean, I'm sure we'll find something else that's just a real.
It'll be a gem.
Treat. Maybe we can get some more gay swords.
Dude, I'm hoping we get another fun thing.
Another one of the 32 different shows about a band of singing boys.
Yeah, that could be one. Or you could get one about the Lolita girls that are all in a Christian heavy metal band, but they're all 6 years old and sexualized. So maybe we could get you some of that.
I just tried to formulate 4 sentences, and I just couldn't. I have nothing to come back to with that you just told me.
Maybe we could get something really racist.
Yeah, I haven't had any really intense racism yet.
No, all of the racist things that are in anime that I've seen are Americans swearing and being fucking morons, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm give me more of that. I like that racism.
Sister Show had some offensive sexual themes.
Oh yeah, well I mean, there's always going to be you're pretty much always going to get some kind of a gender
sexual harassment or
they
assault.
They belittle women all the time too. They're just you're not gonna see a show that is trash without some kind of a quality like that where you're this just isn't okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get more of that. That's my point.
We don't. I mean, I assume you don't get any comments saying, "Wow, I like Sister Show. How dare you?"
Well, here's the
Kyle.
thing. Fucking so many people like the Sister Show, but nobody that I've talked to has liked the Sister Show.
Oh, yeah.
A Sister Is All You Need is kind of one of those things that you're I'm not telling anyone that I like this, except for all the strangers on the internet that are going to be oh, yeah, I fucking like this too. Although, yeah, me too.
The comments of Crunchyroll are significantly different than comments on anime Reddit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, because there's my anime list and people only comment on that when they hate a show or love a show, or if they feel indifferent, they don't say anything worthwhile.
Well, yeah.
So those are the only times that you get critical feedback. Then Reddit, people are always volatile about everything. So even if they don't really care that much about it, they're still going to have a lot to say. For the Crunchyroll, I think people are more positive. overall?
Not
No?
for specifically for Grand Crest, it was worst show, fucking sucks, not worth it, worst show. And then Reddit, people are like, man, this show's intense. I like this show.
Huh, interesting.
Maybe Crunchyroll is little babies, and that's not.
I mean, who knows? So I found something out about Crunchyroll this week, actually, which I'm glad that we're able to bring it up. So a couple years ago, Crunchyroll stopped updating any of their apps or anything like that. They just make sure that you could keep using it, but they're not actually trying to make any improvements. They've had the same design. They've had the same interface, everything moves the same, and it works pretty good for the most part. But the reason for that, I found out, is because they wanted to make the switch to Verve. And in doing so, they shut off any further developments for Crunchyroll.
Remind me what Verve is.
Verve is something where you get to watch some anime and some comedy shit. That's how you can watch Harmon Quest.
Oh, the Harmon Quest thing. Sorry, that was loud.
Yeah.
The Harmon Quest thing. They want to put all of their anime on that?
Yeah, so that's there's an anime category, but there's not enough there to actually sign up for it, because essentially there's a thing where they say hey, sign up for Verve and you get Crunchyroll and Funimation free, but it's more limited. And I'm like, oh, well then I don't want it, and go fuck yourself. How about that?
Yeah.
But apparently the director, CEO, whoever he is of Crunchyroll has said nope, we're going to focus entirely on this. So there have been times where people have been trying to make little changes and work on it kind of on their own time. And kind of trying to secretly put out these updates for Crunchyroll and whatnot, but they've been shut down. So we're at the point now where all of this is being talked about and being called out. So I don't know what this means for anime, but people are aware of it now. So hopefully we see Crunchyroll doing better stuff. Honestly, learning that really disappointed me, because one of my biggest complaints is not being able to watch Crunchyroll on Chromecast. I think that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because when I travel, I want to watch that shit. But I can't. You have to hook it up with an HDMI to your, whatever. If you bring a console, if you bring a computer, whatever it is, that's the only way that you're able to watch Crunchyroll. I'm pissed.
I mean, that sounds pretty dumb.
Or maybe...
I mean, it's
no, sorry. I take back nearly everything I said about how you watch it. You have to start another episode. There haven't been updates to it. They pretty much just made it so you could watch it on it, but you have to go in and manually do another episode. It's a whole thing where it won't let you just continually watch it. And people complain about it all the time. They're like, how do I get it to just continuously play?
Autoplay?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can't do that. So that's why you need to hook up the things in order to make it so you don't have to do that every time, which is lame. But also, it's not on a lot of televisions for that reason either. So while you can go and watch Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or a bunch of weird fucking things that nobody's ever heard of, like iHeartRadio and stuff on TVs, they won't have a Crunchyroll app for TVs. So even with a brand new smart TV, they won't have it, even though lots of people watch Crunchyroll. So,
well, I mean, it's already annoying enough because I find I subscribe to Crunchyroll because I'm watching a lot more anime, so it seems reasonable, and I don't like mooching off of other people's things.
Sure, yeah.
Except for maybe Netflix, but I still don't like doing that. I like everything to kind of be mine.
Yeah, I feel you.
So it's already kind of annoying enough that if there's an Amazon show I like that maybe you don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna come over to your house and be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this show on your Amazon because I don't want to pay for Amazon.
No, I get you.
So it's already annoying enough that I have to choose between different things. Now, if they're gonna go this Verve way or whatever, that's just way more obnoxious.
I'm not super into Verve, but let's hope for better and brighter things. Hopefully, if Verve winds up being good, they'll be able to move all of Crunchyroll's catalog onto that and just completely shut down Crunchyroll and transfer everyone over to Verve, because I don't care. That's totally fine. There's also High Dive or whatever. That's a new thing, and we couldn't watch some Colors show. I can't remember the name of it.
Sonic Colors.
It was Sonic Colors 3D Blast to the Future and Knuckles. But no, we weren't able to watch a show that people really enjoy because it's on High Dive, and I can't justify myself getting another fucking streaming service for one goddamn show.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm like, you know what? I already pay for Amazon Prime, so I'm good there. Amazon Strike doesn't exist anymore, so I'm happy about that. I don't have to pay for that service. I've got Hulu. I've got Netflix. I don't have Funimation. Juan has Funimation. Fortunately, there's nothing that I have to get it for right now. My Hero Academia is going to be airing on Crunchyroll, so that's exciting.
Nice.
It was originally on Funimation, came out on Hulu, and then it came to Crunchyroll later.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about it.
We all kind of are okay with paying for Hulu for older anime. The fact that I have to watch all this new anime and whatnot, I can't justify myself paying for Funimation. I really do wish that there was like there was that deal with Crunchyroll, Verve, and Funimation, but then it was like a limited access to everything. So I was pretty upset that I'm like, oh, I want to watch this. Oh, okay, I guess I can't. Thanks, Funimation. But Funimation's also really good for people that like Simuldubs. They're the ones that do all of that. So the people that do want to watch anime in English, that's totally cool. That's like a great service, and you should definitely have it. A lot of the shows that air on Crunchyroll also air on Funimation, just with dubs.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess that's not important to me because I could care less about dubs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dubs aren't my thing, but whenever they're around and I have to watch a show that I'm pretty busy with stuff.
Yeah, because then you can look away.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the nice thing. Or like you could watch it in bed and when you're tired, instead of falling asleep and be like, I don't fucking remember, I was reading and I just drifted off. You'd be like, I remember these plot points.
I think the most important part of subs versus dubs is when somebody walks by your room or your TV and someone says something in Japanese, and instead that person could have walked by your room or your TV and they said out loud,
"Big old boppers!
Quit grabbing my boobs, you pervert!"
Uh-huh.
And then you get a visitor.
Yeah. Well, other people come by and they're like, they're watching their fucking weeb shit again, and like I'm curious how all these people are walking by my room. First off, I just live with one person.
Yeah, and there's like 8 people in your
and they just keep
house.
fucking popping up, and they're like, "What are you watching over there?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing important." And there's like, "Baka, baka, baka." They're like, "I don't know what that means. I don't care. You're an idiot." And then instead of it being like, "Dummy, quit grabbing my big old titties," people will be like, "The fuck is wrong with this guy? He's watching big old titties anime."
I mean, you can't
big
win.
Old titties freak.
You can't win.
I prefer to be the baka boy.
Yeah.
Baka boy that I am in my heart.
I mean, yeah, we're both baka boys.
Baka boys for life. I don't have anything more to say. I've said enough stupid shit this episode. How do you feel?
Yeah, I probably could have, if the show had any merit whatsoever or was longer than or any storyline, I could have talked more about it, or more than 4 characters.
I think you did a pretty adequate job of relaying what this show was to people. Next season of anime, we don't know what the worst thing's going to be yet. We're going to figure that out as it goes. To find out. I'm pretty fucking excited because it cannot be as bad as this was. I know that you watched this one in like big chunks instead of weekly like you did for my sister.
6 episodes. I was going to try and do all of them on Friday or Thursday or something, and I watched 6 episodes, and I was like, okay, I need to stop. Yeah. And then I watched 2 more on Saturday, and then I watched the rest last night, I think.
Nice. Good. Cool. Well,
yeah, I think
I'm very happy that you were able to watch gdgd Men's Party. For those of you that want to experience the true meaning of pain and suffering, you can watch it on Crunchyroll. It's got a solid 12 episodes, about 9 minutes apiece, less than that. I would suggest don't do it, but that's okay.
I mean, if we got some masochistic listeners, then here, you found it. You found that jackpot. Here you go.
You'll let us know what you think about the episodes. So you can find us in a whole bunch of places. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You could look up the Instant Ramen Podcast for both. Find us on Twitter. Tweet at Instant Ramen Pod. If you want to send us an email and let us know what you thought about it. you could send it to instagrampodcast@gmail.com. Sometimes I play games on Twitch. Sometimes I write blogs and whatnot. All of that's in the description below. More importantly, if you like our logo, check out Turvy Tops, turvytops.com. She is an amazing artist, an absolute gem. I would recommend going to turvytop.com. And then Tom Nasser did our theme song. It's all like, wee, 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 wee. You remember it. You're going to hear it like 2 seconds from now. You could look him up on YouTube, Tom Nasser, NASR, and he's also on SoundCloud. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I got. Final words?
You can't find me anywhere because I don't have anything worthwhile to say on social media, so you won't find me anywhere.
It's very uncommon, but sometimes I play games with Kyle, so you might hear him. We pretty much don't play games together, so yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, that's all I got for this week. Thanks for joining me, Kyle. It was a blast.
Yeah, I love doing this, even though I hate doing this.
That's wonderful. All right. And Kyle, don't forget.
Just add hot water.
All right. I'm ready when you are.
All right, I'm good to go. I just had to look up the studio.
Oh, I already have the information. Yeah. Fuck yourself.
I'm Chris, the best host that's ever fucking lived.